Hey everybody, YT Steve Plays here, and today's video is my gaming collection review. I'm gonna rate every single one of my Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch games. I'm gonna rate all of them from a scale of 1 to 10. And I'll be placing them on this Grogu pillow, so that way, the messy room won't get you distracted. But anyways, let's review. So, first up is actually one of my favorite ones, none other than Red Dead Redemption 2. This is, like, one of my top 10. This one's freaking awesome. This one is a 10 out of 10. Absolute great game. Probably one of the best games Rockstar Games ever released. It is an absolute... It's just awesome. And it's probably one of the most realistic games of all time. The graphics are beautiful. It doesn't matter what TV you have. It's still going to look 4K, and it's going to look beautiful. And it has a fantastic story, and it's fun. So yeah, I rate Red Dead a 10 out of 10. Now, next up is none other than Grand Theft Auto 5. This, I would have to rate an 8 out of 10. Although the GTA Online is very fun, and the story mode is fun too, the GTA 5 story is kind of a boring story. It's an alright story, but I like the Red Dead story more. And plus, in online mode, it's not really, like, friendly to new players, because there's tryhards and stuff. But that's my opinion, that's all I've experienced. But I'll rate Grand Theft Auto 5 an 8 out of 10. Now, next up is none other than Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. This one's great. I mainly like it because of this one, GTA San Andreas, because I actually have the original right over here, but I'll get to that in a minute. But this is an okay game. Like, it's not my favorite. I would have to give this like a 7.8 out of 10. Although it's fun, there's not really anything new about it. There is some little tweaks and little updates, but it's still kind of the same game. Vice City 3 and San Andreas. Just a more high quality version and more stuff added to it. So I rate this a 7.8 out of 10. Now, next up is Red Dead Redemption, the first one. I have to rate this a 4.5 out of 10. Not that it's boring, it's just that some old games from like the early 2000s or late 2010s are not really fun nowadays when you look back on them. It is great to be able to see the continuation of Red Dead 2 since Red Dead 2 is a prequel, but not my favorite. I rate this a 4.5 out of 10. Next up is Battlefield 2042. I have to rate this a 5 out of 10. Because on one hand, I think it's very fun, but on the other hand, I think it's boring as hell. So that's why I rated it a 5 out of 10, because I think half and half on it. It's boring, super boring, but then it's also super fun as hell. So yeah, I rate Battlefield 2042 a 5 out of 10. Next up is Marvel's Avengers. I would have to say a 5 out of 10 also, because it's fun as hell, but also boring as hell. So 5 out of 10 for this game. Next up is Lego Worlds. It is very nostalgic, so I'd give it a 10 out of 10, but I would have to rate it like a 5.6 out of 10. It is fun, but eventually it kind of gets repetitive, so I'll give it a 5.6 out of 10. Next up is Call of Duty World War II. This I would give an 8 out of 10. It's very fun to be able to experience what World War II was really doing to the world. It's a good game, so I'll rate it a 8 out of 10. Next up is Halo 5 Guardians. Unfortunately, I'll have to rate this like a 4.5 out of 10, 3.4. It's like 3.5 out of 10. It's not too fun. It is entertaining, but it does get boring pretty fast. So I rate Halo 5 a 3.5 out of 10. Next up is Sonic Mania. This one is probably a 10 out of 10, just because it's a classic. It's a classic 1991 Sonic the Hedgehog game, but an updated, remastered version, which is Sonic Mania. It's a newer, remastered version of the old one, added stuff to it. So yeah, Sonic Mania, 10 out of 10. Next up is Minecraft. This is a 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10. Full and full and full of nostalgia. This game has beyond nostalgia I can never explain. This game is my childhood. Freaking love Minecraft. Next up is Star Wars Battlefront 2. I give this a 5 out of 10 like I did the other games. It's boring, but it's also fun. So this is a 5 out of 10. Next up is NBA 2K20. This one's a hard one because I've actually barely played it at all. Like, I actually haven't played this yet, now that I think about it. So I can't really rate this one. Oh, and just a heads up, guys. I'm not going to be doing all of these games this entire video. I'm going to make another part for the 360 games and a third part for the Nintendo Switch games. But yeah, I'll continue this in the next video. And I'll put this one, I'll put all the ones right here, the ones that I haven't played, or that I'm not sure, and all the ones that I have played are an am sure right here. There's one more Xbox One game left. None other than Skate 3. Well, it's kind of an Xbox One and 360 game. But yeah, I rate this a 10 out of 10. It's an absolute great game. And they're all falling down now. But yeah, this is an absolute great game. And if you're wondering why it's ripped and I put tape on it, that's because you know how whenever you get a new game, there's wrapping on it. I was digging in too hard with a knife and I accidentally cut it open. So I had to tape it back up. But yeah, that's my game rating for today's video. So I'll see you guys in the next gaming video / gaming review. See you on the next one. Bye bye. See y'all next time, my gaming army.